Hello there, I'm Gurdon. This is the first episode of How Could You Forget, a idea that I've had and I wanted to make with my two friends here, Eric and Lexi. They have been very, very helpful with all of these, making these things, and I'm just going to be explaining a topic that I have found very interesting. So let's just jump straight into that.
Hello everyone, I'm Lexi. I'm excited to be here as well. I will be bringing you serious moments, PSAs when we need them, as well as asking questions that no one knows the answer to. So I'm excited.
Hi, my name's Eric, or Camp, whichever one you really prefer, and I am excited to start on this podcast. It seems like a really fun idea, and I'm excited to just chillax with my two homies as we talk about some weird stuff.
It's cold outside, we better hoagie down. Tell us why we need to hoagie down.
Tell you why I need to hoagie down? Well, Lexi, how could you forget? The story of It's Cold Out There, Better Hoagie Down is actually from a Reddit post by the username going by u/wife going crazy, in which the user, the OP is what I'll call him going forward, made a post titled, "Me, 32 male, with my wife, 30 female of 6 years, I believe is gaslighting me, and I don't know what to do." So, it's a little spooky. I have a little bit of background. That'll help get it into the things. Is the OP begins the post by saying that this all might be seen as a joke, and they don't know who else to turn to, so they're coming to Reddit, of course, the best place to get any information.
Of course.
They let the post say that their wife is a kind of jokester, and that the OP is very gullible when it comes to pranks and jokes, and so she pulls a lot of jokes on him.
Okay.
And that recently the wife had gotten into, quote, weird Twitter. I didn't know what that means at all, still even right now, but that their sense of humor has become even weirder as of recently. But they love their wife because they've been
Probably
married
like
for
deep
6...
fried memes or something. I don't even know.
I love my wife.
I was thinking like deep fried memes are just kind of like the, is it post-ironic memes or something along those lines?
All of Twitter is weird Twitter, but let me see if I can find what exactly weird.
Because like that makes me think that it's not like scary stuff, but it's just like
this post
like
was also
Weird
from
Gang
Twitter
or
is
something
a loose
like that.
genre of internet humor dedicated to publication of humorous material and blah 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 related to anti-humor. Okay, so it's just like absurdity for the sake of absurdity.
So like Mulch
basically.
Gang.
Just like
Mulch.
Okay.
when you're like 10 layers of irony deep and you don't know who you are anymore. That's like
I freaking
dissociating
love
Twitter.
Mulch.
You're dissociating from the meme itself, yes.
basically, yeah.
This post was also in 2016, if that helps you. So it was quite a while
okay,
ago.
wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so pre-Mulch Gang.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like very time for
Mulch
that.
Gang. Oh, absolutely. This Mulch has been brewing in there as we've been going.
Mulch. What the fuck
Right.
is mulch? What are you talking?
You don't know about Mulch
Do you
Gang?
actually
Hold
not
up.
know about Mulch Gang?
What is the mulch?
How could
Wait,
you forget
what?
about Mulch Gang, Eric?
Oh my
Oh,
god,
I
no.
have been. How could you
I'm
forget
dating
it?
myself
Oh no!
here. This is such an old meme, but I love it. You've never seen Mulch Dog?
Actually, that's mulch dog. I have not.
It's the
seen
okay.
Mulch.
I'll just
What is
describe it
this?
so that we can actually get on with what we're supposed to be talking about. It's just this fuzzy-looking kind of fat dog that's like got brown fur, and I don't even know how this started, but it was basically like it's a TikTok or it's a series of TikToks, and they have like a rainbow filter with like hearts or something, and it's like an AI.
I just looked up photos of them, and they look so cute.
Yeah, so it's like an AI
God.
voice that's like, I freaking love mulch. I love to go dig up mulch. And it's just like that, or it's like,
I would
other-
eat mulch.
yeah, I wish I could eat mulch every day. Or like, I'm mulch maxing. But then it's like expanded out to where like, there's another account that I love that's Kitty Ivy on TikTok. And their videos are like, I love red 40 dye. It is so good for me. And like things like that. Like I love eating lead. And it's just this cat. And it's got
Committing
this
tax
filter on.
fraud is my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would sell
love
my
that.
mom
That
to eat
sounds
plastic
so
or
amazing.
something like that. So
Holy shit, that's awesome.
it's
Very,
like I
very
don't
good
know
name.
where it came from. I don't know. Like it's just goofy shit. So you know.
No, I mean that's perfect. That's awesome. Milwaukee.
Great meme, absolutely. The dog's very round. I know you saw the image just now.
Yes,
Eric,
the
but
dog.
I did see the
very
image, yeah.
round.
Yeah,
I'll
throw an
dog.
image up here for YouTube people. I guess it is good.
That is a very round dog.
But okay,
Super
so
round, super
so
mulchy. I
wife
love
going
him. Anyway.
crazy. User wife going crazy says wife is on weird Twitter circa 2016ish, whatever
2016,
that means.
yes. And that they still love their wife, and so they find it cute and endearing that, like, oh, hey, their wife pulls little jokes and pranks, and they just think it's cute, right? And for Christmas that year, again, this would have been 2015, or I guess 2016, my bad, they received a box set of the TV show Battlestar Galactica on DVD. And they started watching it together, and again, I personally have not seen Battlestar Galactica, but apparently the ending is very divisive, and most people hate the ending, because it went into very weird tones that most of the rest of the show didn't really follow. And so most people hate it because they thought that it would be this sci-fi show, but then it ends up being this like religious weird ending. So again, a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah, I know my mom used to really love Battlestar Galactica, and I think she had beef with the ending.
That's
Interesting.
It's interesting.
everything I looked up about it was, that it just kind of came out of left field what a lot of people felt, and that it was just very religiously undertoned for a show that's about like aliens and stuff. So or like sci-fi and stuff. But
a little bit of tonal dissonance there, but whatever. All right,
just
go
entirely changing the feel into the show, you know.
on. Yeah.
But the OP found the ending great, like they personally loved it, and that they had built up to the ending well, while his wife thought the ending had ruined the entire show, and so now she hated Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
They got into a slight argument and a slight tiff that ended up turning into a bigger argument, and then they both ended up basically not wanting to sleep in the same bedroom and getting upset, and then the wife went to the living room.
Oh
and
my gosh.
all over Battlestar Galactica. So
Wow.
now, that's just some slight background for the story. Now, the actual fun part of where the hoagies begin. OP had a work trip the next morning and left, and he tried to tell his wife goodbye, but she was still asleep on the couch, and so he didn't want to wake her up, so he left. And he came back a few days later and settled back into what you would assume would just be normal life, like you'd get over the Battlestar Galactica thing. OP woke up the next morning to find his wife was already awake and in the kitchen making breakfast, which was not very normal of her. It was very uncharacteristic of her. She normally slept until about like 10 a.m. OP went to hug his wife and say good morning, and his wife just didn't respond at all. Only shrugged him off and was quiet and shrugged him away basically.
Wow.
OP,
Over Battlestar Galactica?
it must be that good of a
Pretty
show.
crazy.
passionate.
Very passionate
Like,
feelings
there's
of
got
Battlestar.
to be other stuff underneath the surface. Like, there had to have been stuff below the surface.
They ain't
'cause,
lying.
like,
Those stars be battling.
yeah, more like Battle Spouse Galactica. Damn.
Battlespouse Galactica.
Somebody should open up a therapy
Boom.
practice called that.
Okay, so anyway, she's
yeah.
being very cold and upset about something, obviously.
Absolutely. Until finally OP was about to walk out the front door and his wife stopped him and said, "It's cold out there, better hoagie down," and handed him a brown lunch paper sack and then left.
Okay, so
OP was
she
confused.
made him some lunch.
Yeah, OP was confused and tried to ask what was happening, but his wife had already left to the restroom and slammed the door and would not respond to him at all, no matter what he tried to say.
What?
And so then the OP went to work, texted his wife when he got to work, asking what all of that was and if his wife was okay. And his wife messaged him back, reassuring him that everything was fine and nothing was wrong, to please stop being so weird and that she loved him. So he went on his merry way the rest of the day at work, came back home, and went to bed. The next day, the same exact thing happened again, though. OP woke up. His wife was making breakfast, again, uncharacteristic of her. His wife won't speak to him no matter what he tries to say, only hands him a brown lunch sack and tells him, "It's cold out there, better hoagie down," before going to the bathroom and slamming the door and not responding to him anymore. And this went on for a week, according to the original post. He kept pleading with his wife to speak with him, to talk with him, to even... Sorry, I'm going to do another take on that one.
How fucking dare you? Christ.
He's going to end me.
So unprofessional. Jesus shit.
I'm so sorry. He pleads with his... He pleads again with his wife to speak with them, to talk with them, and to even that they'll go see a couples therapist, and nothing. She won't respond to him. So
So
then
he
went-
doesn't talk to her. He hasn't like spoken with her other than she gets up, makes breakfast and lunch. It's like, here, hoagie down. Here's your sandwich. Bye, and then doesn't speak to him.
Yes, that.
I
they'll-
guess, yeah.
Oh.
They'll respond. She'll respond through text, is what he says in the original post. But that's it, as far as I could find.
Yeah. In terms
Oh.
of like real life interaction, I think it's literally just in the morning, here's your hoagie or whatever. Is a hoagie a
here's your
sandwich?
hoagie.
I don't know.
Yeah,
hoagie's a
hoagie is a
But yeah.
sandwich.
But yeah. But point being, isn't the communication IRL just ends there? But they're still talking over text, which is weird.
Weird. Okay.
That's the very
Odd,
weird
yeah.
part. So
Does
then
this
he.
have any relation to Battlestar Galactica? Like, is there hoagies in that show? Like, do I?
I don't know, but I do
I'm
don't
missing
know.
some key context. I don't know. Like, is she doing this for a bit because it's like maybe one of the characters in Battlestar Galactica eats hoagies all
Maybe
the
it
time?
has to do with the ending.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
Jesus
don't
came down
know.
with a
I don't
hoagie
know.
and was like, here.
down with a hoagie.
And then Jesus was like, it's cold out there. And then he just Battlestar Galactica all over the place.
Oh my god.
And then that's it. Then
That's
just,
the
Okay,
ending.
so how long does this go on for?
Thank you for keeping us on track here, Lexi.
Yes, thank you.
This went on.
I'm invested. I want to know what the hell it's like. Is she like secretly indoctrinating him to like mustard or something? Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Are we like?
Big Mustard finally got to her. Is all
Yeah,
I'll say
the
about that.
long game here. Okay, so anyway, how long does this go on?
It went on for that week, and he went to Reddit and began to ask for help to see if this was some kind of meme or thing from weird Twitter. But again,
Oh, okay.
OP couldn't find anything, and nobody gave him any helpful advice. And that's the end of the original post. Was just that. He then updates
See, he
the
needed
post.
to go ask Big Mustard. You know,
You gotta-
he
Yeah.
asked the wrong people.
you need to write an email to Big Mustard.
Big
He needs
Mustard.
to
What
be
have you
on
done
r
with my
slash
wife?
mustard lovers or
Done with
something.
my wife. But he then updates the post saying he's going to take the next day off to talk to his wife's parents, and even a psychiatrist if he needs to get to the bottom
Oh
of the
my
issue.
god. Okay.
Because apparently in the other part of the post was that he was worried that if he had to spend the entire weekend with her, that she would just not speak to him the entire weekend, and he just didn't want to go through that. Which kind of
Oh my
understandable
gosh.
that you wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be in a house with somebody who literally
So
would
this
not
has
speak
been
to
a
you.
couple of
Yeah.
weeks or just over the course of a
Same-
week?
Same week still, because it hadn't hit
Okay.
a weekend.
Okay, so he got to the weekend and he's like, we better sit down and talk about this because this is weird.
He took the Friday off to then, before the weekend, to try to talk to his wife and to get things figured out.
Oh, okay. All right.
Then OP then makes another update after this to the post saying he woke up in the middle of the night to get food from the fridge. He opened up the fridge and he found no food at all in the fridge. His wife was also
What?
gone from the house and not there. And when he went to the door to leave and get some food for himself, like to go drive and go get some food, he found a brown sack with the words, "It's cold out there, better hoagie down," taped to the door. He
Okay,
op-
so this is a bit. This is a bit.
He opened. Here's the part where that's the bit. I'll just spoil this little part 2 seconds before. He opened the bag, and all that was inside was a can of ginger ale. So
What?
that's the bit right there, at least to me. He makes it outside, and his wife's.
Okay.
He makes it outside, and his wife's car is still there, but she's gone, like I said earlier. But all of her
She's probably
belongings,
just like hiding or something.
all of her belongings, her keys, wallet, purse, a lot of her clothes are all missing. He says.
What?
But her car is still there for some reason. He then makes one final update to the post saying his wife won't respond to him. And when he called his in-laws to ask if she was there or to find if they had spoken with her, all he says he heard was fighting and yelling over the phone. So OP eventually hangs up. That's the
Okay,
end
so
of...
like maybe the in-laws like came, or maybe her parents came and got her. If
That's...
her car was still there.
But if it's
What was that, Eric?
sorry, no, I just have so many questions, and I'm trying to prioritize which ones I want to
Also,
ask,
okay, so
like,
the
in my
bit is
head.
not a hoagie. If there was not a hoagie in the bag, what does the ginger ale have to
Yeah,
do
what
with
the
it?
is a ginger? Like what? Like what's the ginger ale doing here? Like
The thing
when
about...
did that happen?
The part about the post history that really confuses me is there's not actually the OP does not say if he ever opens the other bags or if there's actually a hoagie in
Oh
any
my
of those
goodness!
bags.
So it could have been a
was
ginger
gonna
ale
say-
this whole time.
yeah,
It could have been a regular
Also,
sandwich.
where'd all the food go? I'm also wondering, like, did he never like? Okay.
Maybe that's why
So
her
when
stuff
I
was
heard-
gone. Is she trying to like
He ate it
scare
all.
him.
She kept stuffing it in the bags.
Like, when I heard the fridge was empty, one of my first thoughts was like, had he even like opened the fridge at all, like during the week before this happened?
mean, probably
or, like, Did she
not.
just get rid of all the food and then just kept trying to feed him ginger ale for a week because she was mad?
Either that or she fed him. Like maybe she like they used all the food in their fridge and then just didn't go grocery shopping, and so it was like, here, this is what you get.
I mean, I
You get a
guess.
ginger ale because
Yeah,
that's all
yeah.
that we have left for groceries.
You will survive on ginger ale alone.
I mean, hey, at least it's not the sugar-free ginger ale. That would be worse.
Oh, that'd be so
Full
lame.
sugar ginger ale is amazing.
That'd be
Sugar-free.
so. What brand of ginger ale was it? That's really important. If it was
Yeah.
Canada Dry, then that's based.
There you
I don't
go.
know.
There you go. The best
Whoever
ginger ale.
sponsors this episode, that's the brand of ginger ale.
Exactly. Okay.
True facts.
Big mustard.
Imagine we somehow get a
Big
sponsor for this
mustard
video, and we're just like, "Yo, this ginger ale brought to you by NordVPN."
NordVPN. It's
Oh my
great.
gosh.
This great can of ginger ale brought to you
This,
by
this ginger ale brought to you by Hims. Use my code Hoagie Down for.
Oh, geez, this ginger ale's kind of bland. I should add some honey.
Oh my god.
Oh, those
Okay,
are
so
great.
was that
if we
the last?
ever get sponsorships, we have to like include them just like that.
Oh,
just like
we gotta
really
have-
awkwardly
Yeah.
transition.
The best
Just into-
segues, or also known as the worst segues imaginable into
Right,
the actual
right.
sponsored segment.
Yeah,
The
because
best
people get
segues
pissed
are the
off
worst segues.
regardless because they're like, "Oh, it's sponsored," but then they don't want to watch ads. So
people
you know.
get annoyed regardless. May as well have fun with it.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know?
either way. Sorry, y'all. Support your favorite
Yeah.
creators. Watch their ads, please. I watch
True.
my favorite creators' ads.
Subscribe to patreon.com/campfire harvest.
Right,
Not
also
Gordon.
that.
Not mine. Not mine. Yes.
Yeah, if you put in your socialsecurity.com, you will now be rerouted to Campfire Harvest's Patreon. So you know.
Eric's paying me
this is
all of
brought
his
to you by
Patreon
Big
for that
Mustard.
money. Yes.
Thanks, Lexi.
Okay, so was that
Perfect.
the last post of the guy that there's just
No.
ginger ale? Okay.
Oh.
A few days later, OP came back and gives an update as to what was happening. That gets deleted a couple times. All of these original posts, by the way, are now deleted, so you have to find backups and photos
Oh.
and screenshots and
shit.
stuff of these.
What the? I'm
right.
really worried. This isn't like dark, right? This doesn't go to like some scary.
Oh,
Like,
it's all demons.
It's not
No, I
like
have no
murder
idea.
mystery. No, I meant like it's not like true crime stuff, right?
I'll let you decide that when you get there.
Oh God. Okay.
OP
I'm a little bit
starts
afraid
this.
now.
You should be. OP starts this next post by saying they are currently being sedated at a hospital, and they wanted to give an update to the post.
What? Wait, hold on.
Okay.
They're currently being sedated, but they're writing on Reddit.
Look, man, I don't know, but I will
maybe
say
this
right
Maybe
now,
was
he
like-
was given his cell phone to call someone and said he's like, I should go on Reddit.
you should.
Yeah.
I will say, so
That is
I did
true,
very
yeah.
slight little research and looking around. It's the thing on the internet where somebody basically says, oh, hey, my brother, or oh, hey, my kid brother got on my phone. Like, eventually the OP says that their brother helped them write something out. So,
Oh, okay. So they were
all right.
basically
That
just
makes
saying
sense.
like, "Hey, please update people."
yes. Because
Oh, okay.
again, back in 2016, this post got a lot of traction on wherever it was
I
posted.
bet. I can't imagine whatever the hell happened to make me to be sedated in the hospital. Like,
Battlestar Galactica really fucks people up.
yeah, yeah.
It is.
That's the PSA
It's a force
here.
to be reckoned with.
Like, absolutely.
But usually, like, don't you just have your family post on like Facebook or something? Like, you don't. Hey, bro. By the way,
Yeah, what's gonna-
update people on my condition. No, not Facebook. No, don't call mom.
post on 4chan for me. Like,
Yeah,
what?
go. Or was it on 4chan or Reddit?
No, this is Reddit. No.
Oh, okay.
This is on Reddit.
Like,
Imagine someone
log
doing
into
like a
my Reddit,
life health
bruh.
update on 4chan.
Life-
Check my
hey
karma.
guys, I'm doing okay. Just on 4chan.
Wow.
Perfect.
So
Okay. Anyway, so scary. This guy is
so
in the
scary.
hospital.
So now that you know this little bit, I was going to ask you all, what do you think happened here? Because again, basically
Was
the
the
next
ginger ale poison or something?
I was gonna say I'm in the same boat. I'm thinking like she did something to the ginger ale.
Yeah.
Or, like, some
I
shit,
guess
and
was
it's,
it
like, trying to-
sealed?
And like that's why that's a really good. Yeah, because it'd say if it was like a can of
It would've
ginger ale
just-
or if it was like
it's at a can
Right,
of
yeah,
ginger ale.
because if she just left a glass
can-
on the
okay, so
table,
it
like
wouldn't
that's
sealed.
suspicious as hell. But if it's a closed can, like how do you?
Yeah, no, because it would have to be in a bag too, so it would have to be like a can or a bottle. If it was a
Right.
can, then you wouldn't be able to.
I'm
poison
imagining
it.
worst case scenario of somebody putting a glass full of ginger ale in a bag, like just all.
Oh my gosh!
They just fill it with ginger ale, and then they just put it in the bag, just like on the side, so it all just pours out. Like it's
Oh my god.
I just drink it from the
Just
bag.
drink it, yeah.
And it's not even, and it's a paper bag too. So we should just
Right.
holy
It's
cow.
not even Ziploc.
It's all dissolved
Paper.
through.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. No. Okay. Well. Okay, Lexi. Me and Lexi have the same idea, but I kind of want to make my own game theory. We're trying
Okay,
to get
because
the other
I'm
one to
lost.
see-
I'm
to
just
see who was
scared at this
right.
point. This
I am-
sounds scary.
I'm going to. Well, it says he's sedated at the hospital, right?
Right.
I wonder. I don't know. Maybe the wife got sick of him not drinking the ginger ale, so she chucked a can of it at his head, and then
Or like knocked him out? Okay.
maybe
Like she was
Maybe,
hiding,
but
like trying
maybe,
to lure
yeah.
him out?
Just leaving a can of
It's like a
I don't know.
trap, yeah. Maybe he's a gingerhead. We don't know.
a trail of ginger ales.
Like, listen,
the
I
door.
love me a cold Canada Dry. Like, if somebody's gonna put that by the door, I'm gonna be like, ooh, it's like that
Yes.
Family Guy bit. That's a plausible theory of like she tried to draw him out so she could like try to hit him or something. Like, and it's dark, but maybe she was trying to like knock him out.
This is not the
or-
actual answer, but I'm imagining
Maybe.
a giant like rat trap or mouse trap style contraption of he pulls the
No,
paper
it's the
bag
big,
off the
the big
door.
box.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
a
with the
giant
stick.
box or crate falls on top of him, but he just stepped out of the way.
It's Mousetrap in real life.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
what he's doing right now.
yeah,
Except it's husband trap for not liking Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Apparently.
So, Eric, did you have more to add on or a little bit more?
I don't think so, actually, because I don't really have another good theory other than like the ginger ale is probably poison. But that also feels like too basic. That also feels like
Like, how do you
Too
know
pr-
he's gonna drink it? You know, like.
exactly, yeah. Because I don't think he has. I don't think there's been anything saying that he has.
Well,
Drink-
but
'cause if
he was like, here's the ginger ale. Oh, by the way, I'm sedated in the hospital now. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, like like something
Like,
happened
did
in
he
between. I
trip
feel like we
on
don't.
it? And like, you know, we don't know.
Maybe. She just started dousing the floor with ginger ale, and he just comes
Oh
on
my
the stairs
God.
As we
and
all
just
know,
slips.
it's actually flammable ginger ale. So.
Oh wow.
Oh wait, is it actually?
no.
It might be, I don't know.
No, it's not.
Oh,
That's say trying to
If
burn
it
down
is,
the
man,
house.
I'm full of lighter fluid then, because I'd be drinking a ginger ale like once
opens
every
up,
couple of days.
opens up can of ginger ale,
Yeah.
looks inside, wet.
Flames. Oh my god.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it had similar properties to gasoline or some shit. Maybe
There's a gas leak.
Yeah.
There's a gas leak. Is that where you're going?
I don't know. Maybe
Gas leak?
but instead of a gas leak, it's
Oh,
like a
hey,
ginger
you know
ale
what?
leak.
You said gas leak. I mean, it could be a gas leak. Because
You know what? Oh, all right. I'm gonna take gas leak
You're
then.
taking-
I'm gonna take
all right.
gas leak. That's gonna be my
Well,
theory.
but-
You can have
well-
ginger ale being poisoned. I'll take gas leak.
Well-
or do you want to swap?
Well, my only question about gas leak is that even if she was pissed off at him about Battlestar Galactica, like you wouldn't leave somebody in the house during a gas leak. Like if you're married to them,
Ultimate
I mean,
prank.
it sounds like she's not very happy with him right now. But like, you'd have to be like mad levels of like, I really hate this person to not be like, oh hey, by the way, you need to get out of the house. Like, our alarm's going off, or like, I smell gas, or which I'm usually during gas leak you can't smell it, but.
Quite the. My brain's in like fucking creepypasta mode right now, but I'm also wondering because she's totally fine over text. I wonder if maybe like the person
been
that is his wife
replaced.
is like different. Yeah.
Oh
maybe
my
something like
gosh.
that. I don't know. Maybe it's something just that fucking crazy, or like maybe the wife is like somewhere else with like a counterpart husband who is also kind of treating her the same way, or like maybe I don't know.
I think that's too
Could be.
dark. I think
That's way too convoluted.
Either-
I think it's
either there's like nefarious, scary stuff going on, and so she was trying to draw him out so that she could like knock him out and like call the police or like get him somewhere. Or he like fell. I don't like he slipped on the
Maybe.
ginger. I don't know. Like
Yeah, I
some
was gonna
sort
say
of
maybe she left the can of ginger ale by the stairs. And he
right,
just-
like some sort of accident happened and like he got hurt or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
So do you want to go? How about this? Do you want to go the accident route, and then I can say
Gas
that
leak.
the wife was trying to poison him, like with the ginger ale?
Yeah, I think that's really. I mean, we're still talking about a real life situation, so obviously, like body doubles
I mean,
and stuff.
real life
like,
according to Reddit.
Yes.
Like,
well,
who knows
true.
if it actually
Okay,
was real,
this could
but,
just be,
yeah.
hey, maybe this is their theory or their plot for the ending of Battlestar Galactica instead. They're pitching it this way. So, maybe we got aliens involved. I don't know.
I've been laughing. I'm sorry. I've been laughing straight up at the gas leak as a prank bit for probably the last 4 minutes.
Oh my God.
It's just a
Don't
prank,
do
bro.
that,
Come
by
on.
the way. Genuinely, don't do that. Gas leaks. This is a PSA. Gas leaks are very serious.
There goes my weekend plans. Christ.
Like,
Eric was just going to start
please
loosening some
install-
gas cables in his neighborhood. Just for
Please
fun.
install carbon monoxide detectors in your home. This is an actual PSA.
So
That is true. Carbon monoxide does not taste that good. You don't want it in your house.
Yeah.
I'll
Anyway, that was my serious moment. Sorry, PSA about.
Yeah. We always
CO2.
gonna have one of those in a thing with Lexi.
yes,
True.
That's important.
she very much cares about people. So I will tell you
Damn, that's crazy.
what it ended up, what it actually ended up happening here
Oh God.
is, so his wife was not at fault at all for any of the issues, is what he goes on to say,
Okay. Phew. Okay.
and that he was for all of the weirdness.
What? What?
OP goes on to say,
Bro, did he like kill his wife or something? Is this?
yeah, no, not really.
Oh my God! I was gonna say, please don't go there. I did not think it was gonna be that scary. I did not think we were going true crime route. Oh my God.
Oh,
Going that. Oh, geez.
Okay, so
Oh.
he says it's not his wife's fault; it's his fault.
it was his fault because OP
Okay.
goes on to say that normally that they would take Benadryl to help them sleep because they're allergic to their family's cats, and I believe they have 3 cats.
Oh shit!
And his wife would snore, and so if you take Benadryl, if you take too much, you'll normally see the Hat Man. But I mean, in this case, it would just help you sleep if you're allergic to it, right? So when I mentioned that business trip,
Also, what is that reference to that? What's the Hat Man thing? I don't get that.
Lexi, how could you
Lord.
forget the Hat Man?
Okay, no, we're not going down the. Okay, it's a reference I don't get. We're moving on.
It's about okay. We'll tell you
I'll tell
later.
you next
Tell me when you're
episode,
older.
Eric gets to do the Hat Man.
Tell me when I'm older. That's fine.
Next episode, the Hat Man.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You can tell me when
That's
I'm older, it's
actually
okay.
a good one, though.
Honestly, f- it. Next episode, let's do
The
it.
Hat Man. So the question of the Benadryl and stuff like that is, he would normally take Benadryl, and like I was saying, he came back from a business trip, and his wife was again not really on speaking terms to him, and so
Okay, so that was real.
that was all real.
The not speaking about Battlestar Galactica, that was
But
real.
that was real for about a day or two, according to the OP.
Oh, okay.
And so
all right.
eventually he comes back home and he goes to his nightstand to take his Benadryl to go to sleep because he sees that there are 3 cats all over his bed. And so he realizes, I'm going to need to take some Benadryl because
okay.
it's going to be bad in here, but it's dark. So he goes to take some Benadryl and he's out of Benadryl in his side of the thing. And so he walks over to the other side to take his wife's Benadryl and ends up taking, by the way, this is the part that I'm like, bro, find something else to do. He would normally take 5 or 6 Benadryl, by the way, which is a lot of Benadryl.
Oh my god.
God.
Because you can apparently build up a resistance and immunity to Benadryl.
He needs to be taking something else then, because the thing about Benadryl is, again, I'm going to do a quick nerd PSA here. Benadryl actually belongs to an older class of antihistamines. And what that means is that we have much better anti-allergy medications on the market right now than Benadryl. So it's not that Benadryl is bad for you. You can still take it in
Very
of
tasty.
course, the recommended dose. Don't be taking 6 of them.
Oh,
Not 6 of them.
Eric's other plans are gone.
Shut up.
God,
Gas leaks
I
and
was gonna fill
Benadryl.
my house with gas and take Benadryl. What the?
But it's common for doctors to say, like, hey, switch up the brands that you're using because they use different types of, like,
Medications.
ingredients in there that, like, again, yeah, you can build up a tolerance to them. So that's a quick fun fact about allergy medications is that over time, if you're switching between them, they have a more likelihood that they're going to work than if you're taking the same thing. But wow, 6 Benadryl is crazy.
The more you know. But
I
yeah,
feel like 6 of any drug would be kind
Not
of
good
wild.
for you.
and you're
yeah.
popping 6 ibuprofen.
Unless the directions,
so-
unless the pills are really tiny for. Yeah, true. Just like
Wow.
But so as I was saying, you can build up a tolerance to Benadryl, and so OP went to go to his wife's side of the thing to take some of her Benadryl, and took 5 or 6 of her Benadryl. But this is the part that is
Wow.
the linchpin of all this going wrong, because when he went to his wife's side of the thing, he didn't take Benadryl. He actually
Oh, shit.
ended up taking 5 or 6 of his wife's Seroquel instead. as Seroquel are...
I don't know what a Seroquel is.
I don't know what it is either, but it doesn't sound good.
How could you? Sorry.
How could you? Seroquel are pink pills that look like Benadryl, but they are antipsychotics.
Oh no.
Okay, so
Oh no.
6 antipsychotics. I'm gonna just look this up because I have never. What kind of? Oh my goodness! It says it is an antipsychotic medication that treats several kinds of mental health conditions, including schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. So, just want to throw that out there. Totally okay if you are somebody that has these conditions. I am not. I'm not commenting on that. I am just commenting on the fact that if you were to take 5 to 6 of these, you would be. How is he not dead? I mean, maybe that's
also
why he was in the hospital?
A thing that I'm thinking about too is like, if you have like, you know how like if you have like Adderall or like Ritalin or whatever, but you don't have ADHD, if you take the medication, it'll actually give you like ADHD symptoms. Are antipsychotics like similar then?
I would
like maybe
imagine,
he was experiencing some kind of psychosis.
Because you don't have anything to balance it out, you know. Like the medicine is supposed to probably, in theory, I would guess, you know, help regulate out your mood and help, you know, stop if you're having hallucinations or something of that nature. So if you don't have any of that to stop, I would imagine that medication is probably going to induce.
Yeah, I guess it would just kind of overflow
it.
Yeah.
So
wow.
God, that's okay.
So,
and the 5 or 6 of them, Jesus.
So,
okay, go on.
So Lexi and Eric, you guys are basically, you have a bunch of the pieces and you're shoving them together, right? So if you take, this is what you find out if you do a slight bit of research. If you take some antipsychotics when you have no need for them, as both of you guys were saying, like with Adderall, for example, but instead an antipsychotic is, excuse me, it can give you manic-like episodes that can also cause hallucinations, as well as if you have an underlying history of, like a family history, for example, of schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, it can also basically kickstart that into activating.
Like wakes up that gene.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
Shit.
And so I didn't write this in the outline, but OP also said that their grandfather had a history of manic episodes and being a recluse towards the end of his life. And so now, after all of this is over,
oh man,
they're going to basically have to worry about the next steps of their life as to, am I going to, hey, go down the path of treatment? Like, I now have a mental disorder that I didn't have literally a week ago.
Holy shit.
Also, their wife is now afraid of them because they have been going crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Going through manic episodes. Yeah, that's kind of.
But what about the hoagies?
I'm trying to get you to the hoagies. So, like I said, he ended up taking his 5 or 6 of his wife's Seroquel instead. So he assumed they were Benadryl because she takes Benadryl as well. OP went to sleep, and that's when all of the "it's cold out there, better hoagie down" things began to happen.
Okay, well, makes sense.
That's when the like weirdness and the wife not talking while also talking and all these things, because then we are now dealing with an unreliable narrator of somebody who's on a medication that makes you have manic episodes and hallucinate. So when he's talking about my wife wasn't talking to me and stuff like that, there's like not really a way to even know if some of those statements are true or not. So
wow.
Fast forward a week of OP accidentally taking 5 or 6 Seroquel off and on that's not prescribed to them and has no personal history of psychotic issues and going through very intense.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have a question though, and this is I'm not trying to blame OP because this is terrible and they're now living with, you know, having a disorder that they did not have before. But isn't Benadryl is going to be in a different bottle than what Seroquel would be in, right? Like Seroquel would be in your traditional orange, you know, prescription bottles, right?
So this is the part where the numbers get fuzzy and difficult because OP only took Benadryl, and this is they described this, but I didn't want to get into the weeds, but I'll give you the weeds. Of OP took Benadryl and only took Benadryl. His wife took both Benadryl and Seroquel, and would occasionally just put them all in one bottle because she could tell them apart and would take,
no, never do that. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
So
no.
So
that's what that actually kind of goes into what I was going to ask, because like I can understand like accidentally taking like someone else's medication if it looks similar by accident, but this is your wife. I would presume you would know she has antipsychotics.
Right?
Like,
Well, and also,
Like, I
like
don't
I
really
said,
know.
it's very different of like Benadryl is over the counter, and so it's going to be in a very different bottle and or maybe even in those like push out tab things. And I'm thinking, surely if there's a prescription medication involved, then they're going to be in the correct, orangish, or sometimes I think they're green, sometimes they're brown
So,
bottles with like a label on it.
so from personal experience, I have not done this. Let me just say this right up front. But I have had members of my family that they will, to just carry around like one bottle of pills in their purse, for example, is they'll throw like 3 different types of medication in the same like pill bottle. And so if they're trying to go around, like, and I've had family members that are like, oh, hey, they have one for not heart issues, but like heartburn, which is, again, is not very bad, but then also, oh, hey, I need to have this medication for more of my health. And then, oh, hey, like, we'll say a Xanax or something like
Right.
that. So if there are 3 pills
Wow.
that are all in the same bottle that look very, very differently, like, oh, one's a blue a capsule and the other
Square.
one is a square
Yeah.
with a 3 on it, and then the other one is, again, just like a regular looking
Yellow.
pill. Yeah, you could tell those
Yeah.
apart pretty easily. But again,
Oh man.
that's where it's like, man, I feel bad for you, but also
Another PSA. Please do not do this. Please do not
yeah,
do
no,
this.
they,
There are pill containers that are very cheap that you can put.
or you
in
can
each
do Russian
day.
roulette pills.
No, no.
to make
No.
it interesting.
I got to take 3 pills today.
Live a
I
little.
took 3 ibuprofen instead of my heart medication. Darn it. Like,
Oh my goodness. I took 6 Seroquel instead of 6 Benadryl, which I shouldn't have been taking 6 Benadryl anyways.
yeah, just spice it up.
spice it up.
Oh
Spice
my
of life.
goodness.
First gas leak.
Again, I'm not trying to victim blame. I just want to be
Yeah,
very clear.
start a gas leak, poison your ginger ale, take some antipsychotics.
Oh
It's a
my
good Friday
God.
night.
Great Friday night.
Like it's a good.
Oh, wow.
So-
Okay, so
And then Jesus comes down
It
and gives you a hoagie. Anyway.
It's cold out there, bro.
The hoagie's right. I forgot. Go on.
So-
oh my god.
So
I need to know.
OP did this for roughly or less than a week, because again, this all takes place over roughly a
Right.
week.
Well, and you're gonna run out of pills.
Yes, that too, because
You know?
you're just popping a bunch. So eventually, as I told you, he was trying to get in touch with his in-laws. So OP then drove to confront his wife's family and to find his wife. And OP pulls up to the house, which again, if you're hallucinating that bad,
How did
probably
he
not
drive?
driving. Again, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's.
Oh
well, I mean, like
my-
at that point,
so
I
many
mean, at that point, he didn't
PSAs.
even know he was hallucinating.
So many PSAs,
right?
y'all.
So many PSAs.
Oh my goodness.
Lexi's having anxiety
All the
through this.
PSAs.
Yes, I am because
It's like,
I'm
hey,
like,
hey, everyone listening, this entire story,
Don't
do
do
it.
it.
Just don't do
Exactly.
any of it.
Don't make a hoagie. Don't watch
you know
Battlestar
what? You can
Galactica.
hoagie down.
Never make hoagies.
You can hoagie down.
Never-
make your hoagie
If you have
with
a husband,
mayo
never
or
give him ginger
mustard
ale.
No, I
or
like
whatever
ginger
you
ale,
want to
no.
put on your. You make your hoagie however you want, but do not take 6 antipsychotic medications, especially if they are not prescribed to you.
So
Please do
Lexi,
not.
are you saying if they are prescribed to me, I should just be down in some antipsychotic?
No, I
No.
said you should not, especially.
Oh,
There
okay,
was a-
especially.
you know.
Sorry, I missed the word especially.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
again, he makes it to the house. Again, I'm assuming through sheer luck and sheer force. Knocks
Yeah.
on the door, and the father-in-law answers and looks very, very scared. And now this is because this is not exactly from a secondhand account, but now there's somebody to see it that can corroborate some of these things. So OP
Okay.
pulls up to the house, and the father-in-law sees them sweating and seems to be in a very intense daze. And the father-in-law,
I don't know how they didn't die.
Lexi, I don't know. Again, it's first off. Let me just say this now. It's Reddit, so again, somebody could have written, "Man, I took a bunch of Seroquel," and the first person's like, "How did you not die?" And they're like, "Oh shit, I didn't think about that." Like,
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Okay.
My writing
Sorry,
classes
I'll
have failed
suspend
me.
my disbelief. I'm just like, wow, this is scary.
'Cause
I'm
even
like,
when you
you're
said,
right.
how do they
I'm
not
over
run-
here sweating.
because even like when you said, "How did they not run out?" I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how many pills come in a Seroquel bottle. Like, I don't think they're just sitting there rocking with like
Yeah.
80 Seroquel. So eventually he pulls up to the house, and the father-in-law's like looking at him all scared and stuff like that. OP then pulls out his phone to show videos of the paper bag and saying, "Why is my wife doing this?" Like, and not talking to me and yada 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 and stuff like that. And the wife comes out and begins to tell him to please calm down, don't do this again. Like, you've already been through this. And the OP is again confused because like, no, I have this. Like, look here, In-laws then say that OP was the one that was terrorizing their daughter to the point of her
Right.
escaping home to be safe from them from what he had been doing to her.
Okay. All right.
The wife pulls out her phone and shows videos she has taken of OP banging on doors, yelling, screaming, just staring at walls or just standing in the middle of the room, not doing anything and not moving.
Oh my gosh.
His wife then said that he had been much more aggressive, belittling, and again terrorizing it to the point that she had been gone for most of the week. And he had even been hallucinating her because she left on Tuesday when all of this had started on Monday.
No.
So that's why there was like nothing. Oh my gosh.
OP
So were the texts even real either?
I'm
Oh,
assuming
Lord.
not, based on they don't mention that, but I'm assuming not.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if he's
would assume
hallucinating
that
full ass videos on his phone, then yeah, he probably
you're right
would've.
there, Eric. So OP, to try to defend himself, shows the pictures of the sack that say, "It's cold out there, better hoagie down," and specifically the one that was taped to the door to show to the in-laws to say, "No, this has been happening." But when he pulls out his phone to show them, there were only 16 photos of either a blurry, like swinging, like whenever you get motion blur, a picture of his feet or the ground, no sack whatsoever.
Oh.
So that
Just-
entire part
just nonsense.
was
like,
just nonsense and
just
hallucinated.
hitting
Absolutely.
the camera button at like the wall or whatever.
Basically, yes.
Whoa.
OP then began to get extremely dizzy because the family's like, "What are you talking about?" And so he got let me take that one back. OP then began to get extremely dizzy and nauseous, and only worsening as time went on, to the point that he had to lay down. And they because he thought he was actually going to die, is what he says in the post.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure.
His in-laws then take him to the hospital somehow. I don't know if they drove him or if they called an ambulance or whatever.
Hopefully they drove him. Is this in the States?
I'm assuming yes.
Yeah. Did he have health insurance?
Oh, no.
Interesting
All right.
question.
Once the OP was at the hospital, then they gave him Atvian, which I don't know what that is. I believe it's an anti-anxiety medication.
Ativan.
Huh.
Oh, Ativan, I think is what you mean to say. Yeah, that's an anti-anxiety.
Oh, yeah,
I've been on that
Okay,
before.
maybe I miswrote that, or maybe
Yeah.
they miswrote that in the post. To calm them.
Maybe they miswrote that.
ATIVAN.
Okay.
Ativan, yeah.
All right. Well, y'all know more than I do. All right. To calm him.
I only know that because I only know that because my mom had a work friend's husband pass away, and that was part of that story. Is they had to sedate him using that.
Oh,
So-
shit.
Oh, okay. So there you go. So you
Lore.
even know, yeah. Lore. Lexi Lore.
Which
love.
rest in peace. Yeah.
Lexi Lore!
Rest in peace.
Ah,
He was older, so he passed peacefully.
So,
Rip in peace.
so they gave him Ativan, as you guys said, which helps you kind of put you more at ease and more at peace.
yeah.
And when OP came to, again, explained that he had been taking 5 or 6 Benadryl, which ended up, again, being the Seroquel, which then may have activated, as I said earlier, some of these underlying issues of schizophrenia from past, like, family members and stuff like that. Or there's also the theory that it might have just put him into a
Wow.
direct manic state for a prolonged time, because, again, you're taking a lot of antipsychotics as somebody who doesn't need them. So
right.
Yeah.
so that was all of the original posts. All of this.
Wait, so before we go on, I do just want to point out one thing. So sorry, why did he start taking his wife's Benadryl again? Like, because he was out
Yeah,
of
he
Benadryl?
ran out of Benadryl.
So if it's been like a week, could he not have just like gone to the... Well, no, because I guess it would have been like the very first night.
If you
Like even from there it would have those effects. Because like I'm just thinking, why the did he not just take them one night and then go to the store to get more? But
so in the
you know, he probably could have been like hallucinating everything. Maybe he hallucinated getting more. I don't know.
that
Like,
that's you're hitting on the exact thing. There is that specifically in the post he only mentions taking them 5 to 6 the first night. But again, you would then assume that either A, he thinks that he's taking some or he's not taking some going forward, or maybe I went and picked some up. But again, if you're hallucinating every single thing from point A
I
to
mean,
point
5
B,
to 6 though is enough to really put you in a state. I would
yeah,
imagine.
I was gonna say five to 6 one night. I guess I gotta answer my own question because 5 to 6 on one night would be. But that'd
that
be
would
enough to
probably
take
be
anyone
enough
out.
to have him hallucinating the whole week.
Yeah.
Like that's a
Yeah.
lot.
and especially if you don't have anything to cut you down or to help you like get out of that state. Absolutely.
Yeah, no one's like observing you or helping you like eat something or anything like that. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yeah.
So
I do. I guess I also am wondering. Like, I feel like the wife. I don't know, like how much she would be educated on like antipsychotics. I imagine if she's on them, she would know the side effects of taking too many. But
Right,
I don't know,
or
I feel like she
would
would have realized
realize that
there was a big issue.
Right. I mean, six missing out of your medication bottle. That's
Yeah. Or like even seeing how your husband's acting and like countering that or like corroborating that with the missing pills, it'd be like, I think my husband has taken my antipsychotics. I should take him
Right.
to the hospital or do
or
something
maybe
like
she
that.
was
I don't
just
know.
scared. I mean, if he started
That-
immediately
That
acting
also
like
is
this,
like, yeah.
she was
Obviously,
probably
I
like,
can't put
I'm-
myself in the shoes of someone who is living with, something scary like that as someone
right. Yeah, if he
of,
just
of-
started.
of like a spouse doing this crazy shit. So
To help both
I guess,
of your
maybe.
to help both of you guys really quickly, I'll help you guys figure that even part out. Was when I mentioned that she had recordings of him knocking on bathroom doors and stuff like that. Was, if you remember earlier, he went and tried to talk to his wife when she slammed the door. So
Yeah.
Yes.
if you're
That's what I'm
seeing your
saying.
husband,
She's probably just really scared. You're not going to be thinking with
Yeah.
your logical brain if you're just like, hey, I'm scared of this person and I need to get out of here.
Well, yeah, because obviously you'd be more focused on like your immediate safety, which is good,
Absolutely.
obviously. Like, yeah, getting the hell out of there before anything else would be the important part.
absolutely,
Yeah.
you guys
get
are
out now,
exactly.
investigate later.
Absolutely, and that's
Yeah,
why again,
yeah.
if you went to
Exactly. You can't really help someone if you're in like a direct line of fire from them in
Yes.
that
No,
moment, right? Like, yeah.
Also, to think about it, how would you go from, hey, I'm watching Battlestar Galactica with my husband, to the next day he's slamming doors and yelling and just staring into space and
this is what Battlestar Galactica does to people.
Oh my god.
This is terrible.
It's terrible.
Well, if they're still together after this, I guarantee you they will never be able to watch that show ever again, even if they wanted to. I know
like
I
an actual
wouldn't.
PTSD response. They just can't
Yeah.
see the ending to Battlestar Galactica ever.
I would not. I'd be like, get rid of that show. Throw that in the trash.
Throw it in the trash. So now that you have the whole story, people again ask this person questions and try to get like some more out of them, basically, right? Like, hey, is everything okay? And again, that's when I told you all that apparently after they get out of the hospital, they're going to be going to a psychiatrist, if not a mental place, to try to get them the help that they need. And
Right,
so,
it probably drastically altered their brain chemistry, to be honest.
yes, exactly. And so, whenever that happened, then everybody around them, the wife, as I said earlier, did not want to be around them. They didn't feel safe because, again, they didn't feel safe the first time. So they don't want them to something to just come out of nowhere, basically.
Right.
So wife went to stay at the parents' house again. The brother, who I mentioned earlier, was the one that was helping them type these things out and making the post. Helped them do that, but again, didn't do anything past that point. And then
Oh, wow.
that's the end of the post history because, again, eventually the account went dormant, like, again, years ago again. Didn't respond back. So no history there, like nothing to corroborate or anything like that. And so, again, the question that a lot of people that are listening to this probably saying is like, well, how do we know that any of this is real? And
Yeah, we don't.
the weird part, well, again, immediately we just have to say, we don't know that it's real, because, again, I
Yeah.
can make a new account called,
My
Timmy
cat's
Turn-
talking.
my cat's talking, and make a whole thing about, my cat's talking, and da-da-da-da-da.
My
And then,
cat, my cat speaks to me in Chinese every night. Like,
Yeah.
and then eventually, I took some Seroquel. Like, okay, that's just a weird story. Like, you could be
Right.
doing something like that. But people tried to do, like, a little bit of research because, again, the way the internet works now is there's always a grift, right? Like, through this, people immediately thought, this seems like such an out there story that, like, there's no way to know if, like, because they stopped, like, posting, and this account was made specifically for these posts. So
Right.
they began to do research thinking, okay, is this an ARG? And people did a bunch of research and they could not find
wait, what
anything.
is that?
An ARG?
Yeah.
How could you?
Oh my gosh. No, seriously, what is that?
I'll say, how could you forget? And then Eric can give a quick description because I'll be too long winded.
Okay, all right, bet.
Or just, what does it stand for?
Alternate reality game. It's essentially a sort of like. Have you seen like any? I want to say Blair Witch Project could actually probably be akin to an ARG because the way that an ARG kind of works is, like it's made to look like a real thing, but not only that, it's made to look like a real thing where you, the viewer, can actually like have an impact on the story or something to that degree. Like in the case of Blair
okay.
Witch, there was actual like marketing that looked like it was happening in reality that you could engage with, like on the websites and posters and everything.
Oh,
You could
okay.
So
the
that's what
story.
ARG basically is. It's
So
like a
it's
way
an
of
epic
storytelling,
prank.
essentially.
All right.
True. ARDs are just epic pranks.
Quote Lexi
Basically.
2024.
Yeah. They're just epic pranks, bruh.
Epic pranks.
That's
Oh
a
my
prank, bro.
God.
Just an ARG, bro.
It's just an ARG.
I get where that's going though. It's like, did somebody make this up in order to get engagement and to make something creepy? Okay,
So
okay.
that's the thing is that if somebody made it to be something creepy, of course people thought, oh hey, it's just all fake. Which again, it could be because there's no way to corroborate it. There's no images or
Right.
anything like that, basically. And then the third one that a lot of people are starting to lean to is the hoagie thing has nothing to do with it besides just literally the term hoagie, right? And so,
Oh my God, it's Big Mustard. I'm telling you.
so you're slightly on to something.
No way. No.
No.
You're actually joking though.
So people did a bunch of research, and the original OP, I believe, mentioned something about a radio and something about like Pittsburgh or something over in the Northeast. So people
Okay.
look up a whole bunch of restaurants and a whole bunch of places that specifically are hoagie-centric restaurants in the Northeast.
Okay.
And through doing a bunch of research and trying to figure anything out, they find out that like there might have been, of course, restaurants can just have a promotion for, hey, get a hoagie, right? Like
right.
I
Local
can make
deli.
like a local deli and stuff like that. So they find a bunch of
Right.
instances of that, but there's nothing at all about it's cold out there, better hoagie down. So
Yeah, because that's really specific. Like
that's extremely
Yeah.
specific.
That is like the loose thread in this whole story. Like, what the like how did his brain conjure that up?
were they trying to like make a catchphrase like Francine in that American Dad episode? I've referenced Family Guy and American Dad.
The brain rot is real.
Yeah, it is. But no, there's a whole episode where she's like trying to make a catchphrase and like, or the whole Mean Girls thing, like, stop trying to make fetch happen. Like you're trying to make people
Stop trying to make hoagie down happen.
Yeah.
Stop
It's like,
trying to make hoagie down happen. Stop
It's
trying to make
not
how could
cold
you forget
outside.
happen.
I am not going to hoagie down. I'm going to whatever the reverse of that is. I can't think.
I'm gonna
of something.
hoagie
I'm
up.
a sub up.
No, hoagies and subs are the same. I'm gonna soup up. Okay.
Soup up.
You know?
Soup up. Soup up sounds like an actual phrase that would be
Soup
said.
up is probably a phrase. So
Probably.
people
Suit
did a
up
bunch of
is.
suit up. Yes, thank you. How could I forget your mother or whatever? Damn it! That's
Yeah, exactly. That's the show.
How could
How,
I
how
forget?
could I forget your mother? Yeah, Barney the dinosaur
was
or
a-
whatever.
Barney the dinosaur. But so that's where a lot of people started going, right? Was looking to see if there was restaurants and stuff like that that were doing marketing campaigns and just thought, hey, let's do a marketing campaign and let's inadvertently make this catchphrase. And so then if we get the internet to talk about it through this guy, then hey, then they might come check out the restaurant and be like, oh, is this the
Right,
the story
okay.
of it and stuff like that.
Like if the restaurant was called Hoagie Down and it like got traction,
Yes,
you know, like
exactly.
making a callback. Like let's blow this popsicle stand. You know, if that was a actual like
the popsicle stand, yeah.
trying to be like, haha, if we get this to catch on, people will have our name in their minds. But
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll
okay,
just be in their
that
lexicon
seems like
forever.
too much of a deep like.
So-
like I know
Yeah,
people.
it seems
have
like
done
the
that,
most
but-
risky marketing strategy
Right.
I've ever heard of.
Like,
Also,
let's make up
a
the fact that
random
this guy
Reddit
now
post.
has mental disorders that he did not have
Yeah.
before and has to live with for the rest of his life to make our viral slogan.
Hey, come
Like-
get some gabagool. Just right after
It's
that.
like,
yeah.
man,
Yeah.
dude, that's
Perfect.
really dark if it's a viral marketing trend or tactic.
So people looked that up, and as far as anybody could find, and again, I did some slight research. I couldn't, because it's also from 2016, as I keep saying. So
Right.
nobody really found any proof that there was a marketing campaign or any company or sandwich shop using the phrase "It's cold out there, better hoagie down." There were, of course, some places in the Northeast that had signs that are "It's cold out there, come eat some food" and stuff like that. So like that's just a very normal thing if you're in the Northeast already
Right, or,
around
like-
Christmas time. Like it's cold out there, eat some food, like eat some soup.
bundle
like,
up. Yeah,
as you said, like
bundle
soup
up
up.
or-
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that was another dead end, but that was the main thought that people have because either A, this is just how could you forget the whole story basically at this point of OP is told this fantastical lie for literally just fake internet points and then left the account because again the account has been dormant now for years.
Right.
B, it's real and this person now, as Lexi has said, has a mental disorder and has started all these issues and has gone down
Probably
the path of hopefully
treatment.
lifelong treatment, hopefully recovery down the line for then nothing to come out of it. or C, a third party just inadvertently made something that's like, man, it's cold out there, better hoagie down to sell some sandwiches. So one way or the other, though, this is just a very, very weird story that I remember finding out about, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because it was such this weird, like, you kind of don't know where it's going, but you just kind of get, for lack of a better term, like breadcrumbed along the way with these hoagies and like these brown paper sacks.
Are they crumbs from a hoagie?
Yeah, it's
Right, like trying to put together the pieces of like what, you know, like what's the catch gonna be or what's the gotcha gonna be, and like that's why I really hope that it's the option of I hope somebody just made this up, because
Yeah,
if there's,
I'm hoping it's like, I know we're talking about it a bit earlier, but I feel like, and I hope that it's like, I want to see it kind of like an ARG, because it did encourage people to look stuff up, but I guess it never really went anywhere. So, you know,
Yeah.
hopefully it's just like a fictitious story.
Yeah.
like I just want
at the
the
end of the
karma
day.
points on Reddit, like, because
Yeah.
I know like that's terrible. Like on one hand, I don't like the idea of like people using mental illness and like very scary situations to be like, haha, give me thumbs up on Reddit or points up or whatever. I'm so
points up.
Thanks for the
I'm
gold,
so
kind
old.
stranger.
But being a boomer here, I don't know how the internet works. But
Lexi, how
at
could
the
you
same
forget?
time, oh my god, I'm trying to
Let's
actually
come full circle talking about the internet.
Yes, yes.
actually make a point here.
Yes, genuinely thank you, Lexi, for keeping me and Jacob on track.
Okay,
'Cause I
well,
feel like we would
that's-
totally forget.
That's what I'm here to do. But genuine point of like, I hope that it's made up, even though that's kind of messed up to use that kind of information to be like, haha, I made a funny story on Reddit. But at the same time, I really hope that someone is not now living with a disorder that they did not have, you know, prior to accidentally taking the wrong medication.
Yeah,
Because
that
that's a
would be
worse reality. Again,
Yeah, that would be the unluckiest outcome
No-
of all
no
this, to be
shame to
honest. Like, I
anybody
could not imagine that.
that's actually struggling with those disorders. There's nothing wrong with that. You
Oh,
know?
of course not.
But it's
Yeah.
also, I'm sure that anybody with those disorders would not say, yeah, that'd be funny if somebody just randomly got this. Like,
Yeah,
wouldn't
like I'm
wish
pretty
that
sure no
on
one would
someone.
elect to have something like that happen to
yeah.
them.
So,
Because, you know, you'd be looking down the barrel of like an even harder life
right.
if you like just suddenly have this kind of mental disorder, right? Like that you didn't have before, you don't know how the fuck you're going to navigate it. Like it's, you know, it is a nightmare scenario, genuinely.
Right.
Yes.
And who
So I'm
knows how
hoping
much
it's
it
not
messed
real.
him up, because it's more so,
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be more than, okay, well, now you have, you know, schizophrenia. Like, it could be worse than that of, well, not only do you have schizophrenia, but you also have this disorder, and now that, you know, messed up your ability to regulate this in your body. Like, it could be a whole avalanche of stuff, and not just, okay, now you have one mental health condition,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you already kind of see traces of the avalanche happening too, because the wife, like, I don't really know. Like, even if they get back together, like, he gets, like, his shit sorted out and they get back together, it's still going to be, like,
That's traumatizing.
kind of a rift, I feel like. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, it's genuinely, like, if she had to, like, get her parents to come pick her up, like, that's genuinely, like, you know. I mean,
Right.
I think they can come back from it if they, like, really love each other, obviously. But it's still traumatizing.
I
like,
mean-
it's still...
She hates
know,
the ending
it's-
of Battlestar Galactica, though. So is there
my
really
Yeah,
mending that
true.
relationship?
I don't know if I could... Yeah, I don't know if I'd
So
be
that was like a
stay
red
together with
herring,
somebody.
basically.
I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think even if it wasn't the red herring, I think it was inadvertently a catalyst of it all. Of like, my wife and I.
Well, because I think that's how the story. I mean, I say story. We don't have hard proof that it was fake or not. but
Right, assuming this is
for the
real.
sake of talking, like for the story, like it's the Battlestar Galactica thing. I think was just a catalyst to say, hey, I think my wife is mad at me for doing this, as opposed to just having it randomly start. Which I feel like would trigger more red flags in the person's
Right,
head.
and that's-
like even if they had just taken the antipsychotics and then the wife started acting like this, or they thought that they were acting like this, then he's able to point at it and be like, "Is she still mad at me over this like Battlestar Galactica thing?" But I mean, if that wasn't there, then it would just be weird. Like it would just be
Right,
off-putting.
like,
you
that
feel
was-
like there would be, which it was already off-putting. But I
Yeah.
think having that argument kind of laid a good groundwork for the reason of like, hey, I think my wife is mad at me because X, Y, and Z specifically.
Yes.
Right. There's so
and
many.
anything
That's
there.
why I
Yeah.
asked if this kind of borders on true crime, because there's so many times where if you hear a story from like one side of a two-sided equation, it's like my mind goes to like, oh, this is bad. Like, is he telling this story when in reality, like, he's the one perpetrating this stuff? And like, she's, as it turns out, again, assuming the story is real, she was the one that was afraid. She was the one that left because she was seeing him yell and slam things, and she was afraid for her safety. So like, it's oftentimes in some of these situations, if I guess if this was real, if he just led with like, yeah, so my wife just left, people would be like, oh, like what? Okay, like you probably had something to do with that, buddy. Like,
I was going to say it's probably, you might have done something.
Right, it could be ranged from, you were just not a very considerate person up to, scary shit I'm not going to mention, but like it runs the gamut, right? Like, you were probably the reason why she left if you guys were fine up until this very point, and then you're not disclosing
and like
why.
if you don't have any context, if you don't have like a Battlestar Galactica stoked argument to have like context for the whole thing, then it's like, then people will probably just assume that if you're not saying anything about what you did, then you probably did a f***y lucky, right?
Wow.
True.
Exactly.
Well, I can tell you what, I will never forget to hoagie down, especially when it's cold outside now. So
how
never watch
could you
Battlestar
forget?
Galactica with your partner. Never. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to the first episode, or the test episode, of How Could You Forget? I have been your host, Gordon, as well as with my two friends, Eric and Lexi. Thank you all so much for helping me on this. If you would like to see more of these, be sure to give this a like and to subscribe. I know you've probably been here for iceberg videos, but those take a long time to make. And so I just wanted to make something that's a lot more fun and to involve some friends that I really care about, that I enjoy talking to and sharing stories with. And I hope to keep bringing you along, as well as other people along the ride with me. Thank you all so much, and we will talk to you all next time on the How Could You Forget podcast.